Welcome to a TSI tutorial on how to remove and replace the Magic hard drive. And what that does is stores long-term memory. First we gotta take off these screws on the back and make sure it's off first, by the way. No lights are flashing, so it's off. And then we gotta take the battery off like that. And now we just remove the screws. Now you black out because it's gonna take a long process. Successfully remove all the screws. Now you gotta take off this part, or the back part. Now it's off. Now what we're trying to do is take off this part. We're trying to take the screws off right here and right here, and then we just take this off and we replace it. Well, I'll show you right now. And you pause it, right, or you fast forward. Now that these screws are off, we simply now it's off. Our job is to remove these screws right here to take off this metal case, which I'll show right now. Now it's off, and now we got a new hard drive. Alright, so now we're back. Now we simply just slide it back in, as so. There we go. And bam. Now we gotta put those screws back in that was holding in these two. So I'll be back once again. Back. As you see, the hard drive securely placed in back in. Boop, boop. Now what we have to do is put back this. So you slowly put that back in. Now before you even put the screws back in, what you need to do is make sure the computer is working fine. So you need the battery, of course, back in. There we go. And we check if it's okay. If it's working all right, then we can put the screws back in. But if you just put the screws back in and check it and it's not working again, then you have to go through the whole process of taking all the screws off again. So I'll be back and see the computer. So what we're doing is checking the computer to see if it's working all right before we put the screws back in, which is right here.
I'm Ricardo Rivas, and this is what we're trying to do here is pretty much replace the heatsink and the fan today. So let's do that. First step is to remove the battery. You just pull these two tabs back and you just pull this out. There we go. And now next step is to get these screws off. Okay, so now that we have the back off, we need to just get this black back plate off. And so now we see here the fan that we need to take off first. So now we just need to get this screw and this screw off. Or there might be a screw behind here that we need to take off also. So yeah, that's about it. So I'll be back. So now that we have this, you see right here, you're gonna have to take this off also once you have the screws off. And right here you see the fan. Or yeah, put it right there. So now the goal of this is to take this long piece off. So yeah, I'll be back. So now that we have the screws off, you just slide this off right here. And right here you see the CPU. So now that we have the heatsink, the new heatsink on, we just replace that and just screw the screws back in. So now that we have the heatsink back in, we have a new fan. So now we need to just adjust this into this little spot right here where you saw earlier. So now that we have this little piece in, we need to get this screw back in. Let me just fit this because it's magnetized. There we go. And now fit it in this little hole. And just screw it back in. Okay, so the next part is just putting this back on. Making sure to just you need to make sure you just make sure that it's clicks into place. Now what we need to do is just put this back on and pretty much just turn on the computer to see if it works. And that's about it. That's how I did replace a heatsink and a fan.